I told you about the time I went to urgent care to take an STD test and the person recognized me?
No.
I didn't tell that story?
No.
That was
I thought
so
they were going to judge you.
That was so
recognize you.
I don't even know, like, to be honest, I don't know how, like, real celebs, like,
do life?
Yeah. I think you got to know a friend that comes over to your house and does these things. So I went to urgent care to, I think I went to take a COVID test. This was like during COVID times. I think I went to take a COVID test, and I'm a kind of guy. If I go to the doctor, if I'm at a doctor's office, I take an STD test every time, no matter what. So I go to this urgent care. It's far out in Queens, like Far Rockaway. Take my COVID test. Then I'm like, all right, I'm here. Let me just take a STD test or whatever. And I guess somebody else was taking an STD test too, and they asking me like, do you have any symptoms or whatever? And I'm like, nah, I just came here for the COVID test, but I take an STD test while I'm here. And they're like, all right, well, just pee in the cup or whatever. I'm like, all right. I go in the room, I wait. The doctor comes in, is a girl my age, attractive. We apparently went to college together. An attractive girl my age, we apparently went to college together. I didn't recognize her, I didn't remember her. She recognized me, obviously, because I'm like famous. And she walks in and she's like, Ian Lara?
She said your whole name.
Yeah, she's like, Ian Lara? I'm like, yeah. She's like, we went to high school together. What you doing in here? And I'm like, nah, I just came in here to take a COVID test. And she's like, oh, you think you got COVID? And then she starts looking through the chart. And she's like, oh, it says here you was taking the STD test. What you been doing? She's black. She's like a black girl.
Clearly.
Did I get that away?
She was not white.
Yeah. She's like, what you been doing? And I'm like, nah, I ain't been doing nothing. I'm just doing the right thing. I'm like, yeah, I just like to take a test every time I'm at the doctor's office. And she's like, looking at the thing. And we all wearing face masks, so we don't get like smiles. We don't get that. It's just eyes. It's just serious eyes. So I don't know if she's joking with me or if she's being serious. She's like, well, let me look at this chart. And she's like, well, we gonna have to send this out.
Oh, no.
We'll call you if anything, but how's the comedy going? And I'm like, yeah, the comedy, you get on stage, people laugh, whatever. But this is why some men don't take STD tests.
But did I ever tell you why I stopped like going to my family doctor from when I was young and then I had to go and find my own doctor?
Oh no, I got a story for that too, but let me hear yours.
It was the same situation where I had a family doctor, the pediatrician, but like transitioning. This was my freshman year in college and I was doing a physical for sports. And I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead. I'm active, so let me just make sure I'm doing the right thing. I wasn't out here wilding, but my doctor, his whole family became doctors. So his son was a doctor, his daughter was a doctor. So now I'm being treated by his son. So I'm in there, I'm letting him know I had the paperwork from the team, like, yeah, I got to get a physical. And then I'm like, you know what? I would like to get an STD test. He was just like, he was an African doctor too. So you out there wilding, huh? With them white girls. I'm just like, bro.
White girls? Where we get race from?
What? Like, how do you know what? That was the last time I ever stepped foot in that office.
That happened with me too.
I'm finding my own doctor from now on. That's crazy.
I think I might have told this story, but I had a Dominican doctor who I grew up with, and I had her since like I was like 11. So she knew me, my sister, and my mom. She saw me grow up. Problem with some of these Dominican doctors, they be too familiar with you. They think that you're like their family, right? So first of all, I will go to the doctor. She will have me waiting like 3-4 hours. And I will see like white people come and they'll get the attention right away. Like they'll get skipped. And me, she was just like, make yourself at home, like whatever. And then when it came, first of all, having a woman doctor as a guy is like, I feel like when you go to a gynecologist, and actually, I think some women do go to male gynecologists, right? A lot. But I don't want a woman doctor sometimes because they gotta like grab your junk or whatever, and then you do the STD test. But I remember going through like the STD thing, and she does the same thing. Like I'm like, oh, can I get an STD test? And I'm like 19 in college. She's like, what you been doing? Let me find out. I'll call your mom.
And
I'm like, call my mom
with no mask. This is before the mask,
right?
Pre-COVID.
Did I ever tell you what she did when I took the STD scare?
No.
Oh my God. This was one of the scariest 3 days of my life.
What? She didn't tell nobody, did she?
Let me tell you what happens.
HIPAA laws?
At this point in my life, this was the craziest story that happened to me medically. Well, I got circumcised, but after that, So I went to take an STD test. I take the STD test, whatever, you pee in a cup, blood, whatever. I do all those things. I leave, I'm not, I don't have any symptoms or anything, so I don't think anything of it. I go home, whatever. I'm at work the next day. I get a call from my doctor. And again, I'm not thinking anything of it because I don't have any symptoms. I'm not wilding. I had a girlfriend at the time. Mm-hmm. I'm not, doing anything crazy.
You're just trying to do the right thing.
Yeah. So I'm at the doctor. Let me take a STD test. She calls me up. She's like, her assistant calls me up and is like, may I speak to Ian Lara? I'm like, this is Ian Lara. She's like, yeah, Ian, we just got the results back from your test you took yesterday. And I'm like, okay, yeah, what's up? And they're like, yeah, we're looking at them and we're going to need you to come in. And I'm like, why? Just tell me over the phone. And they're like, no, we can't speak about this over the phone. You absolutely have to come in. And I'm like, okay, well, when can I come in? They're like, well, our next available time is like in 3 days. So I'm like, can I just come in right now? Like, I want to know now. You have this. She's like, no, but please make sure that you don't miss this. And it was like, they called me like on Tuesdays. She was like, please make sure you don't miss this appointment on Friday. It is very important. And I'm like, you're scaring me. Like, what? And they're like, yeah, goodbye. And then they just hang up. I swear. 3 days go by. I'm thinking I have herpes, chlamydia, autism, everything. I have the whole thing of everything.
What's the term? When you give yourself that stress, are you a hypochondriac?
No, but if somebody calls you and tells you that you need to come in because you took an STD test and legally they can't speak about it over the phone, you're gonna start thinking about everyone you've been with,
and
right?
You start feeling symptoms out of nowhere, like,
yeah. No. So I'm upset. I'm calling my girlfriend. I'm calling her a hoe. I'm doing all the things. I'm losing it. I'm unhinged. I'm like, I knew you was a hoe.
I knew it.
In a minute,
they said it.
Yeah, I'm panicking. Friday comes, I get up early, I put on a suit. I'm trying to look as classy as possible. I'm trying to I was like 18.
You're trying to look like a man.
Yeah, I'm trying to be presentable. I'm like, if they're gonna give me bad news, I'm gonna take it like a man.
I gotta take it well.
So I show up to the doctor in my suit, I'm like, yeah, I'm here to see the doctor. And they're like, oh, we don't have you on the list. And they're like, and I'm like, no, they called me. I'm like,
make sure.
Yeah, they said it was me. And they were like, oh, you're Ian Lara. I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh no, come with us. I go into they take me into the back room. I'm sitting there in my suit, I got my handkerchief in case I gotta cry. I'm like fixing it up. I'm just sitting there. The doctor walks in. She's like, oh, nice suit. She starts looking through the chart. She's like, why are you here? I'm like, because you called me. You said it was important to come down because of the disease. Yeah. And she's like, She looks on the computer. She's like, what's your social security? I tell her my social. She's like, Lara, right? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, you're fine. We had the wrong Lara. There's another person that needs to come in. And I'm like, you mean you had me rent this suit and come to the doctor's office?
Curse out my girl.
Right. I got to apologize to my girlfriend. I'm like, I'm glad I got the suit. Now I got to show up at her job with flowers in the suit. Meanwhile, there's this poor bastard with my same last name walking around with AIDS.
With a smile.
And he don't even know. That's when I was like, I gotta get a new doctor.
You gotta get a new doctor.
After that, I went Jewish.
That's it.
Yeah, I had to.
That's it. When they get too familiar, when they start, trying to call you by your first name and like telling you stories and just like, oh, what you been doing? And all professionalism goes out the window, you gotta go.
If you tell a woman, I feel like, that she was bad in bed, your relationship is essentially done.
Yes.
I don't think they'll be able to come back from that. I think they'll work on it for somebody else.
But for you,
there's
no room for coaching either.
No. If you do it, it has to be done in a very like romantic and enlightened way.
It almost has to be done in like a friends with benefits kind of way.
You bring up a great point.
I'm here.
You bring up a great point.
What's the number, 347?
You bring up a great point with the friends with benefits situation. Because here's the thing with friends with benefits, and we've all been there. We've all been friends with benefits, somebody who we're sexually involved with, who aside from the bedroom, we absolutely hate. Right?
That's it.
We've been there. I don't think you can compare a friends with benefits relationship into a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. Sexually, I mean. Because a friends with benefits has a certain type of freedom.
More explorer.
Right. That your relationship, it's just hard to get.
Yes.
When there's other stuff going on.
External pressures.
Most friends with benefits that I've known, that I've participated in, or that I've known in life, like they're friends, but there's not a lot of like arguing or dating or hard feelings.
No.
It's kind of like we're just friends and occasionally we meet up and hook up.
It's a prerequisite. You have to have that conversation.
When you're in a relationship with somebody, there's different things into play.
Totally different.
I don't think you can expect, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think you can expect to have the same type of, for lack of a better term, sexual relations with a partner that you did with a friends with benefits. There's a level of not caring about your friends with benefits that it's too difficult to replicate in a relationship.
That is Ian Lara. I'm his running mate for president of 2020-28.
Yeah.
I support that message.
Yeah. I think a lot of times we get tied up with that.
I think, you know what it is too? It's because, like you said, not only is there no dating, it's more so you're always almost at your A game with the friends with benefits. It's always like, because there's going to be a control of, if they invite you over, what am I doing? You know what? I'm free. Boom, right? So you done worked out or whatever, and vice versa. Like there's control. So you already know you're going in like, oh, there's no pressure. It's just hooking up.
I think having sex with a friends with benefits, I equate it to driving a rental car.
He's on fire. He's on fire. Johan can't even handle it. He put his brick down, son.
I'm feeling it.
He's on fire.
When you get inside a rental car,
it feels
there's certain ways you're willing to drive that car because you know that you're giving it back.
Yep.
So there's a freedom that you have. You might put it in manual and start driving like the Fast and the Furious.
Just because.
You're not going to do that with your car.
No.
You could blow out your transmission.
And then what are you going to do?
So I think that is how we treat the friends with benefits. It's a rental car.
Marty.
It's only temporary.
She can't stand it.
You don't have to worry about maintenance.
Nope.
Who cares about the oil change? Who cares if you get a flat tire?
On you.
Who cares if you crash it into the wall? You have full coverage.
It's not on you. $12.49 for the day. What, 2 days?
Now, your own car, there's no way you can drive your car the same way because you're invested to it.
I'm not going past 65.
That might have been one of the best points I've ever made on this podcast.
I'm it's almost like the Wingman episode times 1,000,000 in the first 10 minutes. I don't even know what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the other man's do-rag or what it is, but
this guy is cooking.
I'm flowing on this one.
You still in the kitchen? Because you're cooking right now, bro.
This is the reason. This is the reason why you hear this a lot with women, I think. I mean, obviously both the sexes do it, but you hear this a lot with women where they'll be in a relationship with a guy, but then they'll have their side quote unquote rental car like they like to use because they don't want to damage
the main
car that they're still making payments on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This guy's a regular Dominican Carrie Bradshaw. Like, yeah. I would have read the books and signed up for the podcast. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
mind blown. And the thing is too, like you said, you can adjust the seats however you want to. You also deleting everybody's from the Bluetooth because it's like, nah, this is my rental for 38 to 72 hours. And I'm gonna give it back.
Bro, it's just the freedom. That's what it's about.
It's the freedom.
The freedom
and
that
exploration.
You have. And look, you can get your car to a certain point where you love your car. This is your car.
It's your car.
And the rental car can only take you so much. You ever been in a rental car you had it for a couple days and at the end of the thing, you just miss your car?
And you're ready to give it back?
Yeah. You're like, I'm done with this. This was fun, but I like my old reliable.
Yeah. Because the seats conform to you.
Yeah, I miss my car. Yep. And then you get inside your car and you're like, this is nice.
You have all your presets.
Right. But it's not gonna be as exciting as the rental car.
It's not. The rental car is exciting, but the longevity and consistency of your main car.
Yeah. I've had, I remember when I was young, when I was like in college, I had a girl, because I always have like a pretty cool relationships with the women I'm dating where we're like pretty honest about each other. And I also like, I mean, obviously I'm human and a guy, so obviously I have some sort of an ego, but I try not to like let it like thing. So I'm like, look, you could be like fairly honest with me, you know? And also I think a lot of times, even when you're honest, like it usually isn't as surprising as they may think. Like if you're gonna be like, oh, you know, sex is not exactly, you know, great. It's like, oh yeah, I know. Like, you gotta be, I think, completely clueless and disconnected to not feel that, you know, when you're connected. You know.
Are you talking about with the main car or the rental?
With the main car.
Okay.
I think, you know, I mean, with the rental situation, and that's a weird way of putting it.
Kind of crazy. I know.
But it's usually always is like at least good, because you're not going to keep renting the same car if it doesn't drive good. No. So the chances of it being good, is usually better. But if you were, and I guarantee this, if you were to get into the, like with the friends with benefits, if you were to get into like a relationship with the person and actually be with them, the sex will decline.
It just naturally happens.
Yeah, because that's what happens.
It naturally happens because you're not just in Vegas for the weekend, or you're not in Albuquerque for the weekend. Now it's just like, hold on, what kind of gas do you actually use? Every 6 months, the oil change. You got to balance and rotate the tires. Now, it's all the external pressures that come with.
You could rent a Porsche in Los Angeles. That's nice. But if you're in Montana, what are you doing with a Porsche?
What are you doing?
This can't ride here.
That's not Porsche country.
Right. You need a Wrangler, something for off-road.
Because
you know, and
mountains.
And I think that it's important to realize that. I think this is why the majority of friends with benefits never ends up in a relationship.
It doesn't.
Because you know, if you did get it to there, you would lose that. You would lose the reason you're there.
My question is though, because now that we're in our mid-30s, right?
Of course.
And I have friends who have had, like, let's say, extended rental agreements where in between main long-term rentals, it's like, oh, you're a client here. You're what's the word I'm looking for?
Like a frequent flyer.
Yeah,
you have points.
And then just depending if the stars line up, if like maybe you're in between vehicles, both parties are in between vehicles, it's just like, okay, let's spin the rental back. But for some reason they know that it's never good past the rental agreement. Why is that? What is that? I think, where does that come from?
Because I think when you are with your partner, there's different things that, like, it's not just empty sex, right? There's different things. If you're mad at them for doing this, if they're mad at you for that, if you know, there's different things that you bring into it every time. And as a couple, you got to like fight through it and try to get back on the same page. But there's different things that you bring into that every time, right?
Yeah.
Like, sure, when you're on vacation, everything is perfect. It might feel like you with a rental, because you away, but then you come back home and now you're fighting again. There's bills. You're mad at this. You're mad at that. So it's kids, hard.
Parents. School. Yeah, it's definitely it's not easy, bro.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
First of all, if the food ran out at your party, it's not. People should have leftovers. Be taking leftovers.
But is there also an hour mark though? Because if the party's been going on for like 5-6 hours and then the food ran out after 5-6 hours when it was like dwindling down, and it's like, okay, you did the thing, right?
I think that if people don't have to-go plates at your party, you probably did not.
You didn't plan
it right.
Yeah. Okay.
I think at the end, obviously, there's times where too many people show up. There's no way you could plan for that.
No way.
There's no way you could plan for that.
There's no way.
If you're a popular person like that, I'll give you a pass.
Yeah.
But some people, you know, they want to have a barbecue. There's 8 hamburgers, 8 people. Woo. And you're like, is this one burger per person?
I think that's a great point that you bring up. I think, you know, we have to do some calculations. So the amount of people that you expect, times that by 2 for the food, right? Like that's just a general rule. So if you're gonna have 8 people, maybe have 16 burgers, right? Maybe 24.
I come from a long line of obnoxious Dominicans.
Okay.
Who we like to eat like we're kings.
Okay.
So if it's a barbecue, if it's 8 people coming, we got 100 burgers. And people's like, why you got 100 burgers? What do you mean? What if somebody wants to take 50 burgers home? I'm gonna pass the embarrassment of not having enough burgers for somebody who wants to take 50 burgers home?
No.
And you might say, wait a minute, but you guys are poor. And it's like, yeah, but we took out a loan for this barbecue. That's the type of people I come from.
That's where you come from.
Yeah, I come from that.
That's your lineage.
Yeah. I come from a long line of that.
Okay.
Of, I'd rather you know that I'm unemployed, but I'd rather you leave my house wondering where I'm getting the money to put this on than to you leave my house being like, damn, he's doing bad.
They doing bad. They only had 16 burgers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
Okay.
And going back to, if I invite you, you ask me, what do I bring? You know what I say?
Ice?
Nothing.
Yourself?
Nothing.
Your gift is a
But
present?
bring something.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't cook, alcohol is always appreciated.
Always appreciated.
Always appreciated.
Bring a 6-pack.
A 6-pack, but
A 6-pack. Bring High Noons.
Ice is so critical.
Ice,
too.
bring ice. You can't bring ice, bro.
Ice and like a styrofoam cooler. You know how many parties got saved because of that?
I want to be clear too, because there's some people, if you're one of these people who are constantly going to parties with the same group, like if it's a family party or a friend's party, and you've already built up good equity as a person who brings, you don't got to bring every time.
You don't, but then you also have been to multiple functions where you've probably had such a great time, especially like if I'm coming to your crib, your parents' crib, and I know the food is slamming, everything's slamming, I'm bringing every single time because I know I'm guaranteed to eat well.
Yeah.
I'm dancing.
But if
we got the dominoes, right?
For sure. But if you already got good equity and who you are.
The rapport?
It's just, I think it becomes like a pay it forward kind of thing. Where it's nah, I got family members like this, which is like, oh, nah, they've sponsored a whole party that wasn't even there. So when they come through, it's like, you don't got to bring nothing.
You're good.
You on the VIP list.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I want to be on. I want to be on the list of people that don't have to bring anything.
You've crossed that threshold.
Yeah.
You're a part of that upper echelon. Like, no, he's good. He's
good. Yeah.
They give you a plate when you walk in.
Right. And when I'm the one hosting, I like to give that treatment to the VIP people.
Pay it forward.
So I've had people show up to my party, right? And let's say they're people who have brought stuff before, or maybe someone who never came to a party, but they've hosted parties. They've hosted like lavish things where I ate good. So you show up to my party. This is a nice touch. I've done this. You show up to my party, party's lit, boom, boom, boom. I might go in the secret stash, put out something just for you.
Just for you.
Hey, I got this. Me and you drinking this tonight.
Oh, okay. Like the what is it? The Henny White.
Yeah.
That's not
I got
for everybody.
a bar for those type of occasions.
And you know what? You just made me think about something too, because you know some people might be down bad, but there's also the person who's down bad that always stays after, that puts the chairs away, that helps to clean up, that makes sure that the place is pristine. They know they couldn't contribute in one way, so they contributed another way. So you got to leave room for them too, because they might be not on the VIP list, but they're acknowledged. Like, okay, you down bad, but I know my place is secure afterwards.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's these a lot of times in Dominican culture is these women who like, you don't need to get caterers. They're just, that's what they contribute. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Absolutely. If that's what you bring to a party, that's cool too. You don't got to bring nothing either.
Absolutely.
I had this happen one time. I remember this was a couple years ago, before the pandemic. I had one of my boys, his dad, who we all grew up together. And he was like a dad to me too. So when we was kids, he always used to take us out as the boys. We used to go to this game, that game, go watch a baseball, whatever. He was like, we treated us like we was all one family. And he showed up to a party and he hadn't been to a party for years. And I know what he likes to drink. I happen to have that in the stash. So when he showed up, I went in the stash and I'm like, this for you right here. Don't worry about
Don't worry about that.
You have this right here.
Because you had the cachet, the rapport.
Right. You want to make people feel nice.
You definitely do. I think a lot of people don't even take that into consideration. Everybody's so, influencer on their phone. You make somebody feel nice, that goes a long way.
Yeah, I'm like that.
Yeah.
I like to make people feel nice.
Yeah.
And if I go to your event and you don't reciprocate that energy, I talk about it on the podcast.
And please make sure you hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, that's the kind of vibe that I get.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Talk to me.
And I'm gonna ask you the question straight up. And if you give me an honest answer, and if the honest answer, if you don't want it out there, we'll delete this part of the podcast.
We're gonna give t-shirts out?
No, we'll delete this part of the podcast. This is for real.
Yes.
I just want you to tell me the truth.
Yes.
Because I've been asking this question to men. Would you leave your partner if I could give you $5 million right now into your bank account?
No.
But you have to leave your partner and never speak to them again.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Yes. I would not leave.
Why?
Because she's amazing and like we have a real, you know, when all of that cliche stuff where it's just like, that's my best friend and like that stuff is cliche because it's true.
All right. We'll clip that part and send it to your lady. But let's talk honestly. Let's talk for real. No, but I knew you were gonna say no. I knew you were gonna say no.
I don't think your number's high enough.
Oh,
my body count?
Hey,
Wait, no, I meant the number.
The money.
5 million. I was like, if you came at him with 100 million. What?
I was like, you must be underestimating how famous I am.
Oh my God, no.
You try to throw me
I'm a
under the
lady.
bus?
No, I'm saying I think you're the monetary value is too much or too little.
$5 million?
Like I'm saying, if you were presented with 100 million.
That's...
100 million. 100, but
now he's sweaty.
But I wanted to keep it realistic because I also don't think, I think at 100 million, I don't think he'll do it anyway. Or what I think he'll do is try to take it and then finesse his way to get back to his girl anyway.
Of course. She'll be so down. She'll be like, why are you even still talking to me?
If somebody offers my partner $100 million to leave me and they don't, I'll leave my partner because you don't make sound financial
decisions. Exactly.
And I don't want to be with somebody that's willing to squander away $100 million.
Exactly. Like that's the point. That's why I would turn down the 5 because she'd be like, look, this is how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna change my number. I'm gonna move. You stay in New York for like 18 months and then we'll reconvene. Like it'll be a total, like we'll be in sync, like Justin Timberlake. Like that's how, you know what I mean? But for the 5 million, nah.
But I was having this conversation because I think, and I have a theory, I think generally speaking, most men that you ask that love their partner and are happy with their partner will say no.
No.
But I don't think most women will say no.
Oh.
Call in if you have an answer to this. Let's up it 5. Let's make it 10.
10.
Would you leave your partner? Can we throw this up as a
single clip?
As a single clip. Would you leave your partner if right now somebody came up to you, a very wealthy man, and said, "I will give you," or a woman. Women have money. You know, they get divorced from millionaires.
They find out
have money. If a millionaire walked up to you right now and offered you $10 million to leave your partner and never speak to them again, literally disappear from it. And if you were found to speak to them again, you would go to prison. I'm doing a hypothetical.
You got to up it. There you go.
Would you leave your partner for $10 million?
That's a great question.
And never speak to them again?
Yeah.
I think most men will say no. And I think with women, it's 50-50.
You know what? Does age depend? Like, does age matter? And the reason why I bring that up is because, like, my homeboy, who's like one of my mentors, he's a little bit older than me.
I thought I was your mentor.
He's a little bit older than me. He was saying that, the dating pool right now, after you reach a certain age, is dirt terrible. It's terrible. And he's just like, honestly, like, he's single. He just broke up with, he basically just got a divorce. He's like, 18 months out of a divorce. And like, he's single. And he's the single friend now where all his friends that are in relationships, their partners are like, oh, don't hang out with him anymore. And he's like, yeah, he's having fun, but it's not the same. And like, he's like, it's very eye-opening because he's at a certain level where he's just like, yeah, it's fun and I'm outside, but it's like, I'm lonely. I'm like, damn, like, wait a minute. First of all, you're being wild vulnerable. I don't know if I'm like at this level of maturity to handle this conversation. That's number one. Number two, I'm
that's
like,
making me
like,
uncomfortable.
Yeah, like, that's crazy. Like, he's just like, yeah, like, me and my girl, we broke up. We didn't work it out, but we got kids together. I can't see my kids all the time. And it's just like, it's cool to have a partner. I'm like, damn, I don't know if I have enough, EQ to handle this conversation. So that's why I bring it,
bandwidth?
Emotional, what is it?
Whatever the
emotional
Q and
intelligence?
IQ
yeah.
is.
Oh, yeah.
Emotional,
quota.
That's Nelly.
Yeah.
Emotional quotient.
It's like there's IQ, which is like your brain intelligence.
Yeah.
And EQ is like your emotional intelligence.
So that's why I bring it to you.
I never heard of this.
Yeah, but that's why I bring it to you. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't subscribe to the narrative when somebody tells me a dating pool is bad. I
agree.
I think dating is inherently supposed to be bad. It's not supposed to be good. There's no place you go that the people are like, dating here is great. I'm on a new great date every day. Because if you were on a great date, you would continue dating that person and then you would be in a relationship and out the dating pool. So there's no world of like dating is great. Because if dating is great, why do you continue to keep dating? If dating is great, you would find your person and get out the game. So if you're in the game, it's inherently, it's like baseball. If you strike out 7 times and get 3 hits, you're an all-star. 3 out of 10 is an all-star. Same thing with dating. Like it's not supposed to be great. It's supposed to be bad. And you find your person and you get out.
Yeah, that's why I think Hinge's slogan is like one of the best I've heard in a while. Like the app designed to be deleted.
Yeah.
So good.
That's a great slogan.
Genius.
Yeah, that is a good slogan. I think that I meet so many people who are single who struggle with that. We're like thinking that the dating pool is so bad. It's like, yeah, these are the leftovers. You're 40 something years old. What do you expect to find? Good people who are 40 and not tied down? Be realistic.
You're not gonna tie me down.
Also, I'm a firm believer in the mindset shift of like, he's obviously going through a difficult time of transition. Like, what do you want for yourself that you didn't have in your partnership? Like, did you want to be in the gym more? Are you into concerts? Did you want to go fly to LA to see the Mets play? Like, what do you want out of this chapter?
Do you want to have random sex with young 20-somethings?
Which would be inappropriate in a marriage and isn't now.
Right, and now is recommended.
On the table.
Yeah, it's recommended. So you need to weigh your options.
You got to, what is it within?
And from his feedback is that the women are more aggressive than the men. I mean,
women are very aggressive.
Like in the sense of they approach him. He's like, he feels used.
Well, how tall is he?
Aww.
What, 6'2"? He's feeling used.
Well, they should have been shorter.
They just eat him up.
He wouldn't have that problem.
They just like come over, do your thing, and like he's like, "Oh, you want to hang out?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Whoa, this is crazy."
He should try. You know what? Now I'm mad at him because he should try being 5'7". If this is the complaints that he have, too many women approaching him, too many women trying to take him out. He's just trying to have lunch, and women are coming up trying to have sex with him. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Life is so difficult.
They're not trying to take him out. They're not even trying to hang out.
Oh, even I'm very sorry that you have to go through this. APM's friend. I wish we could help. How could we help?
Yo,
how could we have less pussy thrown at you? Is there any way we could do that for him?
Crazy.
Where does he live?
In New York.
New York?
Yeah.
And how old is he?
He's 42. He's killing. I mean, he's going through a transitional period right now, and any transitional period is tough. He just needs to find his groove. And once he finds his groove, he's gonna kill it. Come on, he's 42. He's divorced. How many kids? 2.
Women love a divorced man with kids. Because it shows you responsible. You could go on dates, blame everything on your wife. They feel sympathy for you. You talk about you can't see your kids. It's nice.
I think what he was saying also too is that like it's a range. It's like the ones that he like kind of wants to build something with. They just want to use him and keep it pushing. And
use him for sex?
Yes. And then the ones that he's just like, I'm not really into you. They start to get clingy from the first date. So he's just like he's in like almost like purgatory.
Yeah, listen, I'm sure there's a ton of men right now that listen to this podcast that can relate with the trauma of having a bunch of puss thrown at you and you not having the time to fulfill all the needs of the puss being constantly shoved into your face. Yeah, right. But to those guys, I'll say, shut up. Okay, shut up. Yeah, shut up.
Privilege? Is that height privilege?
Shut up. That's what I would say. Shut up. Too many women want you. They don't want you to take them out. They just want you for sex.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. He'll find his groove. He'll be
gonna be all right.
What would you rather? Would you rather you have a one night stand? Would you rather it ends in a pregnancy or a STD?
Whoa.
If you had to pick one.
I'm going pregnancy. Nah, I don't know.
What?
That's crazy. What kind of STD is it?
What STD?
Yeah, what kind of STD you talking about?
If we talking gonorrhea, chlamydia, I mean, that's not even.
You can deal with the 2 weeks?
Give me that.
Yeah.
2 weeks. Give me that. I think it's less than that.
Yeah.
I think you get a shot and you're good. Over a kid, give me that.
Yeah, I spoke to
I mean, I don't know. I might.
But what if you're getting that thing?
Like what? Like herpes?
Something that's not going away.
Bro, I might take herpes. Over a kid. I got friends with herpes who talk about it publicly. It's nothing. I think a lot of people are not educated on herpes. For real. I think, especially in Black culture, you get raised to think that it's like, people think it's HIV, but it's literally nothing. According to my friends, I got my friends, they talk about it. Like
that's crazy. So that's what you would go with?
Off of somebody I didn't know?
Yeah.
A stranger? I'm not talking about
something that's not going away.
Bro, but I'm not talking, same with the baby. I'm not talking about a girl that you could convince and she's like, all right, maybe, I don't know you. Maybe I won't have this baby. I'm talking about a red state, Bible Belt, Christian woman that fucked you on the first night and got pregnant and is like, I'm keeping this baby.
Okay.
Or a STD.
I'm talking about but what if you get that thing that it's not going away?
Like herpes?
No, like HIV.
Well, HIV, that's different, right? That obviously not that. Even though I think we're very close to a cure.
I've seen a lot of commercials.
So they know how to live with it. I've seen the commercials. I've seen all the commercials. I think they do PrEP.
Any kind of black TV show.
They do PrEP. There's the pill you could take before it, so you don't get it. So all right, barring the major one, which is
Tremvia or something like that.
Those HIV AIDS will kill you. They can kill you potentially.
Yes.
So obviously I wouldn't do that. But under that, I guess under that umbrella, the next one would be what other STD even does anyone even care about? Herpes. But people don't really care about it like that.
Yeah.
They don't. Obviously I want nothing, but I'm giving you a hypothetical of a bad situation.
Yeah.
And if
you're choosing herpes, I'm choosing the kid.
You choose the kid?
I'm choosing the kid.
What if it's a girl you hate? Or what if it's a girl who's let's just say not your type?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, people co-parenting off of one night stands. The baby shower, I come through with the Burberry shirt. You know what I'm saying? What if the kid turns out to be 6'9"? I
mean, that's pretty fair for you to think that could happen.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true.
I don't think I'm in the same boat as that.
Yeah, 2 elephants don't make a giraffe. That's true.
All right, so maybe I'll
shout out to John Brown.
Maybe I'll have the kid then.
Yeah. What if he comes out super funny and a mustache?
He's not gonna be funny.
You don't think your kids are gonna be funny?
Nah.
Guy or girl?
Funny usually don't give funny.
I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like funny people normally have at least one funny parent. Am I wrong?
Well, no, yeah, my parents were both very funny, but I meant professionally funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's so true. I'm like, are there any father-son comic duos?
But it's not a dad. I mean, well, I guess the older one. The Wayans, I guess, is the closest. They got kids, but none of them compared to the dad.
To the dad, okay, all right.
To Keenan.
I'm thinking I think we just stumbled on something.
What would you rather?
What?
STD or baby?
Well,
one night stand, you hate the guy.
And I have to keep the child?
Yes, if you live in Texas.
I think I'm going STD.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Me too.
I have good health insurance.
Yeah.
Also, I'm like, from a financial perspective, it's a no-brainer.
I mean, you're talking about a shot versus hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, my only argument was going to be if abortion was allowed, I think it is just a cost on cost. Because I'm like, if you get a really bad STD versus an abortion, an STD could be more expensive to treat depending on where you're at.
What's a really bad STD?
If you're going splitsies.
What's a really bad STD?
I feel like, have we talked about crabs? I feel like
crabs is, come on, that's kids' STD. That's an STD for kids. That's like lice.
Imagine.
But it still happens, I think.
Yeah, but I would take lice over a baby.
But crabs are still popping out there.
No, I haven't heard crab cases.
I'm just thinking of the worst crab or the worst.
Call in if you had crabs.
I haven't heard about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Right? But imagine the therapy session for this kid. Like my dad chose an STD over me. Like that's gotta be.
Well, he wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's gotta be a lot to unpack though.
I'm saying you can't give me a STD and the baby.
Oh shit.
If I chose the STD, the baby would never be in therapy.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's true.
What would you choose, Johan?
I mean, you guys kind of convinced me. I was gonna say the baby, but I think the STDs. If we're able to cure it, then
if we're able to cure it, it doesn't even. I mean, it's not even.
That's why I'm like, this question isn't
doesn't
even
compare.
financially. It's
That's
a
what I'm
no-brainer.
saying. That's why I'm like the only way to because I'm thinking like you're going like the top tier STDs. That's crazy. I never heard of that before. Versus like if a top tier STD.
No one's gonna pick HIV, AIDS,
Right.
Okay, because you're putting your
A
health.
death wish.
You're putting your health at risk. But
Same with a baby.
everything under that. But the caveat is that you hate the person.
Yeah.
That's one thing I
If
couldn't
you
do that.
get along, the person's cool. You'll be like, all right, we can co-parent.
Yeah.
You
No.
just hate the person.
Yeah.
And people are gonna be like, oh, why would you sleep with somebody if you hate them? Because I'm horny.
And I'm drunk.
And you might not know you hate them at the time.
Right?
Yeah.
Nah, you probably,
you know.
you can
You know.
you get hate flags.
You know.
Yeah. You never can you say that? Can we say you never hate like, I don't like you, but
You never told the line of a fiery love?
yeah.
I put it in the
can't
Shakespeare. I made it sound
It's
Shakespearean.
a one-night stand.
I made it sound Shakespearean.
Yeah.
But you never. I mean, I'm pretty sure because it's happened to me when I was outside banging. But now, it wouldn't happen now. But has it? You've been out with a guy where you're like, this person is really like uncomfortable. Like I'm like. For lack of a better term, I don't want to say I hate them, but I'm just gonna be like, this isn't like I'm not having a good time with this person. But they might be attractive. Maybe you're horny. It's been a few
tequila shots.
hours.
Yeah.
So
Maybe there's some to see flowing,
that has
Us
to
for
happen
the
because
next-
guys are terrible. I mean, there's no way
Yeah.
every guy you dated was cool.
No, didn't say that. Yeah.
But vice versa too. Like not every girl you've dated has been cool.
Oh, the minority of them.
Okay.
That's just dating. It's
Yeah, that's just
interesting.
dating.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
dating. I generally haven't dated. I don't think I've dated like bad people where I would be like, this is a bad person.
Yeah,
I have a
that's
couple people where I'm like, you're
Yeah.
kind of a bad person. But
Yeah.
most people just not compatible to me, and
Yeah.
that makes it bad. Not that they were bad; they just weren't compatible to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So I'd rather them give me a STD.
And, there you go. Then have a baby with them.
Yeah,
You bring up a good point. You did want to be a lawyer.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if I'm 100% convinced, but I
About the
I can
baby?
see, I can see your argument.
I mean, anyone choosing a baby whatever. Yeah, some people choose a baby, right? Some people would be like, but I'm giving you the choice. It's not like you have to have an abortion. I'm giving you
got
the
the
choice.
choice.
The baby doesn't exist. So you can be anti-abortion and pick STD.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. So I was going to say that some like people are more fanatical and they'll be like, oh, I don't believe in it. And it's like, all right, but the baby doesn't exist in this scenario. It's like God asking you, son, what would you like tonight?
Two paths.
What would you like tonight?
The red pill or the blue pill?
Yeah, you choose.
You choose. The choice is yours.
Yeah. I thankfully, knock on wood, I've never had to, but I imagine I actually asked a friend about this because I always thought that calling somebody and telling them that you got tested and tested positive for something has to be like an embarrassing thing. But most people say it's really not. And then when they explain it, I'm like, oh yeah, I get how it's not. Because they're like, if you're calling somebody saying like, hey, I got something, like the person on the other end is like, oh, I probably got it too. So it's like you're both got the thing.
Yeah. But I've also had friends where like that's happened, like the one night stand and the girl got pregnant and she kept the baby and they had to co-parent. He had to co-parent even though he knew nothing about the girl. And
Co-parent separately though.
Separately. Yeah. But still, it was just
You know multiple people like this?
Yeah.
Now, do you know anybody who went out,
Bro.
one night stand, got a girl pregnant, and stood with the girl and raised the baby?
Yes.
And they're together?
They're together.
What?
Yeah. But like,
Shout
all
out
right,
to them.
case in point.
Queso.
Tyreek
Queso
Hill.
dip.
Tyreek Hill has had like 10 children.
I think he's at
last year.
11.
He's at 11,
I think
right?
so. I
Yeah.
might be wrong.
Yeah. He's definitely co-parenting All for one night stands. But Miami's crazy too. Miami will do that to you.
But he just got to Miami.
Yeah, but still, exactly. I'm coming from Kansas City to Miami, bro.
How many baby moms does he have?
I think 5.
5.
And he just got married too. So congratulations.
Yeah, he just got married. He was in the press conference. He was talking about my wife.
And church.
Like your wife.
And he's still out here wilding, bro. Come on, son. That's crazy. Miami will do that to you. He probably, let me stop.
He has 4 baby mamas and 6 children.
Okay.
He only got 6?
Yeah, that's what this says.
Only?
No. I thought he had more than that.
No,
6.
But 6 in a year. Like 3 of them in the same year, right?
That's crazy.
He has twin daughters with the person he's married to right now.
Okay, so
6 is not bad.
What
For a
about the other
professional
4? When were the other 4 born?
He had 5 kids in 1 year.
Boom.
Shout out to him. He's living.
This is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
He's here for a good time, not a long time.
Crazy.
Not here for a long time.
What's his nickname? The Cheetah?
The Cheetah, baby. That's crazy. 5 in 1 year. That means you got to go to like 5 emergency rooms. You got to go to like
5 showers.
5 burps.
That's crazy, son. And you're married?
Being a dad, having to go to a baby shower for a kid with a girl that you don't like or want has to be top 3 worst things a man could ever have to do. You got to sit there and like just be like, yeah, that's my baby. And in your head, you're like, I should have just went home and eat chicken nuggets that night.
I should have just got the vino.
I shouldn't have went for the club.
Yeah.
And for a woman too, like just carrying a guy's baby who you hate.
Who doesn't want to be with you?
Every time you see it, every time you see the guy, you're like grossed out.
Right.
And then you have a baby that'll look like him. That's tough.
That's got to be tough. That's definitely got to be tough. Imagine Thanksgiving.
Now, these guys ain't coming to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but the kid is.
Yeah. But then you have a kid and he'll make it to the NFL.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why you got to kind of roll the dice.
Long term.
Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about Mexico. Where'd you go? What'd you do? Who'd you fly?
So me and my lady, we went to Playa del Carmen. Shout out to Carmen for getting her beach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
is that a direct flight?
No, so we had to fly into Cancun, and then it's about like an hour cab ride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's Cancun, then Tulum, and then Playa del Carmen.
Is this your first time there?
No, but not my first time to Mexico.
Okay.
It's actually my 3rd time to Mexico. They know me, you know what I'm saying, Orderly.
Yeah.
We went during the hurricane, and it had got downgraded to a tropical storm, Bevel.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
What dates were you there?
I was there the 3rd through the 7th or the 8th.
Okay.
Yeah. So right before for the 4th weekend.
Right.
Yeah. And man, a time was had. Thank goodness. I was getting ready to cancel the trip.
Because of the storm?
Yeah, I ain't never been in no hurricane, you know.
You haven't?
No, I haven't. I mean, Sandy was downgraded.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't around. I was around. We caught the Katrina, but we caught the tail end of Katrina. So I didn't know. I'm not trying to be no hurricane.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody that survived. But so we get there, a lot of people had canceled their flights because they wasn't trying to get stuck. And like they had issue. First of all, our hotel didn't even call us. They had sent us an email saying that maybe you guys should cancel your trip, or you should, like, if you do come, we'll put you in another property, because they were trying to avoid liability. But it's like,
sending me an email saying maybe you should cancel your trip is crazy.
10 p.m. the night before.
Yeah.
The night before you're about to fly. My thing is, I have to do early morning flights.
You have to?
I like to, because
those are the best ones to do.
They're the best ones. And then you also
the least delays.
Least delays, but also the least TSA exchanges, because a lot of people, they're not at the airport yet. And I like to seize the whole day when I'm getting somewhere, especially, you're going on vacation to the Caribbean. You want to get the,
C'est la vie.
I was we got to get the
I think that seized the day.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I get a little bit pale, so I had to go, you know what I'm saying? I came back sun-kissed. Flew first class.
What?
Yeah, buddy. You see, it's not only Bamboo upgraded.
What airline?
United.
Nice.
Yeah, United.
What is Polaris?
I think so.
That's what it's called. Yeah, that's the first class.
Yeah. And
how was it? Was this your first time?
This was my first time.
It's nice.
It was very nice. Like being woken up for like a hand towel, and a mimosa is very nice.
You know, the thing about first class is
Oh wait, you can't even call it that. I think it's just business class now, right?
It depends. Some planes have first, business, and business another, and some like not too far international flights have just business. But it's very nice.
It is,
but I never think it's worth the money though.
Why?
Some first class is 3 times what the regular ticket costs.
Okay, it depends on where you're going.
No, but if you're going, let's say you're going to Japan, first class is great, right? But first class to Japan is about $12,000
American,
and a ticket is about $1,200.
That's 10 times.
10 times, yeah.
I would have to do it though.
I would do Emirates. When I went to Abu Dhabi, I was not in first class, and I would have liked to do that. Okay, I've done first class far though. I've done first class to. I did it to London. I did it to Israel.
Could you have asked the promoters? Because you went for the comedy festival.
Yeah. I mean, I could have asked. They would have said no.
I'm just saying, because would they have pulled that? Oh, okay, yeah, you can get it, but then we'll take it out of your pay.
My pay didn't equal a first class ticket. They would be like, yeah, we could do it, but you're gonna have to send us $8,000.
You're gonna have to reimburse that.
Yeah. But I think if I ask, the only time you get stuff like that, like a first class, is when the people flying you out, like when it's a big conglomerate or a billionaire, they'll do that. Like I did a gig one time in Arizona for this big steel. It was like the biggest steel company in the country, and I think they had offered that they said I could use the company jet, like to get to the gig if I left from New York, but I wasn't leaving from New York. So
I would have flew back to New York.
I couldn't use it. Yeah. At that point, I was more hopeful, and I thought I would have more opportunities of like jet flying. So
it's almost like winning like a championship.
Yeah,
you think you'll have more.
You think you're gonna be there every year, and right? So you flew first class.
Flew first class.
What, was it an upgrade?
No. I caught a sale.
You caught a sale. Nice.
I caught a sale
because of the hurricane.
But also
it was just you.
Yeah, no, it was both of us. You got to book your tickets at Tuesday night at midnight. That's what they say. That's what the airline travel people say. The airline travel insiders. So I did that, and I caught a sale. And you got to do it on incognito mode, so they don't track your cookies.
Because then they'll just send you the pricing.
Yeah.
So can I ask, what was the ticket? What was the first class ticket? Do you remember?
I think it was $1,200 for both of us.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's really good. So you booked this midnight on a Tuesday in a full moon?
Yeah.
That's good.
On the incognito mode.
You heard it here, guys. If you want a good deal on a first class flight, you book it Tuesday at midnight. What is this, Tuesday going into Wednesday or Monday going into Tuesday?
Tuesday going into Wednesday.
So Wednesday at midnight.
No, it's technically Wednesday, but then you also got to remember the people on Pacific time is still Tuesday.
Oh, but Wednesday wherever you're at. Wednesday.
But it's still
at midnight.
Wednesday at midnight. It's Tuesday somewhere.
Middle of the month. Full moon.
Mercury in retrograde.
And you could get about $75 to $80 off your ticket.
Your ticket for first class.
Yeah.
Boom. And it's worth it.
So this is nice.
This is nice.
Your lady, was it the first time she flew first class?
I believe so. Yeah.
Ah, that's nice when you get to give an experience.
Feel great.
Yeah. To somebody
absolutely
like that. Did you look over and was like, babe, look what I got you.
Doing.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to throw it in people's faces when you do something nice for them.
Cachet.
Yeah.
There you go.
I really enjoy that.
Yeah, me too.
So how was so you get to Mexico?
So we get to Mexico.
A lot of Mexicans?
There were a lot of Mexicans. There were also a lot of people just on tour. Growing up in New York, you learn how to deal with hasslers.
With what?
Hasslers. People hassling you.
Hasslers?
Yeah. Sorry, I got to get.
I think we're going to have to Google that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure hasslers is a word.
Is it hagglers?
Hagglers. Okay.
I mixed it too.
Yeah, I thought I was...
I just made it up live.
You dropped the SAT word on me. Hasslers.
I just made it up live.
Okay, no, hagglers. Got it.
No, I'm going with hasslers.
That
might be our cool.
I got you. Yeah. I got you.
You learn how to deal with them. It comes with the territory. Yeah. But when you
get to a foreign country though, it's a different. So it's not like here.
My steel wall has to be even more turned up.
Yeah.
So thank goodness we had already booked the transportation to the hotel, but they're not until you get outside, and then inside you have to deal with all the people.
No, just a shared or a prive?
Prive.
I love a prive.
Prive, but not lugs.
Prive, but still, prive is good.
Prive is
Was
great.
it a van? They love vans.
You gotta do the van.
Yeah. And developing countries love vans.
Yeah, you gotta do the van. I think his name is Pablo. Shout out to Pablo. Boom. So we go. I'm on full block mode. No, we already got a cab. No, gracias. Blah 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 blah. Boom. We get in the cab. I'm notorious for staying up 24 hours so I can sleep on a plane because I usually don't sleep.
You one of those people?
Yeah.
I advise against this.
No, I need to.
I advise against this. It's not
sleep.
Good. It's not. First of all, it's a flight to Mexico. It's 3.5 hours. You can be up for 3.5 hours.
I'm extra.
Like I mentioned on the other thing, I like to raw dog the flights.
Oh, whoa.
Just stand there, sit there, do nothing.
Just because to prove you're
just up, to prove I'm a man.
You're a man.
That happened actually. I mentioned that on the last episode. That happened on the flight back from Paris.
You raw dogged it?
Raw dogged it. They food came by, no food the whole time. The flight attendants couldn't believe it.
No.
8-hour flight. 8-hour flight. They were like, "Are you sure?
Are you sure?"
I was like, "I'm sure."
I'm good.
Yeah.
Woo.
8-hour flight. Food came by. I said, "No, thank you." I was starving.
Do they look the perplex? Like, do you feed off the perplexity of their faces?
Yeah.
Like,
I generally get my joy from making other people think that I'm better than them. That's generally how I feel comfortable in public spaces.
Damn, I see now why we started this podcast together. So
yeah,
I stayed up. So I'm knocked out in the cab, and
you stood up the whole. You didn't sleep the whole night.
I didn't sleep the whole night.
But then it's a rough morning.
That's why I sleep on the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm ugly sleeping on the plane, like mouth open.
Yeah, I imagine, yeah.
And then also in the van, mouth open, knocked out.
See, but then this is what I'm saying. You're not enjoying the things because you're tired, your mouth is open, your girl's probably uncomfortable.
No, she's taking pictures.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot collage.
But have you tried the edibles? Edible on a flight. That'll knock you out. I do the edibles.
No, because then I get too giggly. If I don't fall asleep.
Even on an indica?
Yeah. Then it's like it's not a pleasant ride.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. So boom, we land when the thing. We get there, and this is why it was perfect that we still went. A lot of the other people who were supposed to be staying at the resort, they canceled. So basically, like we had a private resort. There was only like 2 or 3 other couples in the whole time.
Can I interject?
Please.
Here's my thing with resorts.
Talk to me.
The resort is the only place that I kind of want ambiance. I want other people there. It's funner when there's more people there.
Please expound.
Like it's like a cruise. Like people are like, oh, if you go to a cruise by yourself, the cruise is only as good as the people on it.
Okay.
And I feel like resorts are similar in this way. Where if it's empty, yeah, you can enjoy it, whatever you with your partner, that'll be fun. But I find that sometimes it's you people watch. You making fun of, oh, look at this, look at that couple doing aerobics. Like, oh, look at this. You know, you
doing the yoga.
That's what it's. I mean, is there a better thing to do with your partner than look at other people and judge them?
No.
Like, I mean, I think that's like the top couple thing to do.
I mean, outside of eating like a good dinner.
Yeah, I mean, dinner with judgment on other people. That's Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
you know,
that's Valentine's Day and New Year's.
Yeah. So, but the resort was empty.
It was empty.
Now, was it rainy?
So we only got hit with rain the following night. So we left on Wednesday. It didn't start raining like hurricaning until Thursday night. And then Friday,
But that's kind of romantic.
It was very romantic.
A hurricane in the hotel is kind of romantic.
And they don't play. So like there was a lot of damage that was done. We didn't get hit with too much rain. We got hit more like a lot of wind.
I don't like the wind.
Yeah. And like going through it, and because it was a bamboo top. It was a very nice imported. It was a very nice, nice room, but it was also like you heard the elements. Like when we came out, you could tell that the hurricane, a tropical storm had blown through there. But that Friday, they spent the whole day cleaning up. There wasn't too much flooding, and it was
what was the sounds that you heard? Like
very intense, like your roommate in college.
Yeah,
but times a million.
You sure that wasn't Mexicans like making?
I didn't
fajitas?
I didn't investigate.
Yeah.
I didn't investigate.
Now, how was the food? Because a lot of times people go to Mexico and they complain about the food and the quality of the food and the curse of Montezuma.
You ask a great question.
Thank you.
So it was like a Michelin. I promise you, bro. I promise you.
No.
It wasn't all inclusive.
Oh, that's the trick.
It wasn't all inclusive.
Yes.
Each meal,
when you gotta pay, I don't like. This is my problem with all inclusive. I think I want to pay for everything.
Everything.
Because anytime you get an all-inclusive, a free, a unlimited, the quality is nonsense. Now your resort, you had to pay for food.
Every single
So it was
meal.
good?
It was great.
What kind of food were you having?
It was Mexican food.
What was it, like tacos and
Fajitas. But they also had
burritos, enchiladas,
Tostitos,
chimichangas,
Tostitos, churros,
the chips.
Yeah,
it's nice.
I have some heartbreaking news.
Please.
Casamigos isn't made in Mexico.
Where's it made?
The United States.
Is this factual, or is this
factual.
some QAnon?
This is
conspiracy theory brought on by the Republicans
I learned the hard way.
To try to keep us down.
I learned the hard way.
Mexicans get offended when you bring up a tequila that isn't made in Jalisco.
Bro, I ordered them. I was at the bar, getting ready to hit the beach. I need a margarita.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Naturally.
Can I get a
Dos margaritas, please? That's how you say it.
No, dos margaritas, but can you use Casamigos, please? And they're looking at me like,
listen, you want to offend a Mexican person,
bro,
go to Mexico and order an American tequila.
Bro.
That is a spit in the face to the Mexican culture.
I thought we was about to get deported.
I mean, I'm surprised you didn't. It's probably because of the hurricane. They let you live.
That's what it is. But I thought it was a Mexican tequila.
Casamigos, owned by George Clooney?
Bro, Joe no sé.
He sold it though.
He did.
Yeah.
Well, we sold it to us too.
I think Kylie's tequila, what is it? 912-211?
746.
What is it?
818.
818. What is that? The area code of Beverly Hills?
I have no idea. Have you tried that tequila?
No, is it good? Not that good? But hers is from Mexico.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's from Jalisco.
Well,
so is Kevin Hart's. Kevin Hart's.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I learned the hard way.
Casamigos is just a safe bet. It's not even about the taste. It's just a safe bet.
It's really just for the turn up.
Have you had I think Red Dragon or Blue Dragon?
What's that?
Red Dragon. Since this is a name drop episode, I'll name drop. Red Dragon. I think that's the tequila that Chappelle drinks. It's like $400 a bottle.
Definitely didn't have that.
Yeah, I got it gifted one time when I did the show, but it's really expensive. It's really high end. But liquor, like it only gets a certain level of high end. Then they start jacking up the prices, and you're like, this is just the same as a $200 tequila. At
the same time, I feel like the first time I actually had like actual Dom Perignon, like
the champagne,
I understood why the prices jacked up. I understood. The first time I had Ace, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Now I understand.
I never had Ace of Spades, but wine, I mean, champagne is wine, right? It's kind of, I don't know, paying so much for a champagne, because usually you toast I don't even know. Champagne, like you take a sip and then you pour the rest on the girls. I don't know what to do with it.
No, because we were feeling like rappers. That's why. That's, everybody was drinking the bottle. But I understood.
Yeah.
I understood.
Yeah.
Like there's Moet. Moet is the everyday you feel like you're doing something.
Now, what tequila did you get?
I ended up doing Don Julio.
Don Julio's a good one.
Don Julio's a great one. And they actually they have Don Julio 70, which is
what is that?
That's one. I think that one is aged for 12 years.
Yeah. Now, who's monitoring this? Because I feel a lot of these liquors, since 1846, since the Civil War, the original whiskey of the American Revolution, but I don't know anybody who's actually keeping tabs on this.
They say
like, what's stopping us from making a tequila and being like, this was aged since
absolutely
yesteryear?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We got AI.
Yeah,
we can do it.